This is a interview with Emma White, who is very proud of doing this life organization. So, first of all, tell us a little about yourself and this organization that you do.
Yeah, so my name is Emma White, and I am the founder of Lifeisworthit.org, also Life is Worth It. And we are a suicide prevention organization that specifically focuses on teens and young adults. And essentially, what we're doing is we are giving teens resources, videos, readings, workshops for them to learn about mental health resources and how to live a mentally balanced life in all aspects of their life. And it stems from my own personal story. When I was a teenager, when I was 15, I actually developed suicidal depression and ultimately planned to take my life because of it. And thankfully, my plans failed. And now I'm here giving back and helping other teens through the difficult times in their life with.
So yeah, thankfully we have someone, you know, to help others like her and like me. Um, you really that we kind of have a hard time with it. So thankfully, go look up life. How have you been?
Thankful that you've been open and honest about your struggles and the things that you've gone through and are going through. I think it's important to note that the pandemic only worsened a lot of these feelings for people who were previously struggling. And then some people with the pandemic have experienced anxiety or depression for the first time. So we've got kind of a whole range of people experiencing different emotions. For myself, it's been, at least in the beginning, it was kind of like shock. Like, what? I didn't even think that we would ever go through something like this. And then I definitely thought it would be over quicker than it has been. So I've been through different emotions of being locked down for a month and a half and trying to figure out, like, okay, what do I do? How do I keep myself motivated? And when I can't go and do all of my normal things. And I've had to work from home, and then we transitioned to working back in the office. And so it's been a wide range of emotions. And now, as we kind of, thought that things were getting better, now the numbers are kind of increasing a little bit. And so we're having to look at that again, which is stressful and a little angering. But I think that it allows us the opportunity to slow down and to focus on the things that we can control and to focus on the things that are important. So we're allowed the opportunity to say, I'm not feeling my best. Why is that? And dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's incredibly struggling to hear that we have all these different things going on, and the fact that the fact that our society is not paying attention and just saying, "Screw it, I'm gonna I don't have to wear a mask anymore. I'm free." Like there was even a guy who took his shots, but he doesn't believe it. But he did it because he and this is at GameStop, by the way. It's extremely struggling to hear that so many people out there are not paying attention, and they don't understand how much important this is. I've had COVID. It's not pretty. It's worse than having the flu, and I've never had the flu just from the shots effect. Um, So sorry if I'm rambling on.
Oh no, you're fine. No, it's true. I think everybody has their own perspectives and their own stories, and I think if we can really focus on what we can control ourselves, you would be. I thought it was over. I thought in so there are a lot of emotions through that, and you are just like everybody else is kind of struggling through this and trying to figure out what the next step is.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle this. Online video games, Fortnite, Borderlands 3, which is what I coped with when I was little. I got sick a lot. Put me back to where I was when I was little, which is play online video games. And now I'm just, I mean, back then, back in 2020, it felt like totally fine, but go to where you want to go more comfortably. But now, thanks to COVID, thanks to people's religious beliefs, or and they're just not listening at all. People like are
That the conversation around the vaccine is very personal, and everybody does have the right to make decisions for their body when it comes to their health. This pandemic is anything political into healthcare really be true, but unfortunately losing and where it gets difficult. I know people on all spectrums, so I think the best thing that we can do, like I said, if you're comfortable with or get and so I think we all kind of illness, everything can feel so stressful. Go ahead.
it felt like those movies, the before the series, maybe. I think that's the prequel that's been developed. Um, so I've gotten terrifying to say.
Nobody knows sometimes what the future holds, and I think what comes next. I because without it, you lose through this, and I know that it feels so forever. So resources to get through it. There are some really great resources, but we just right now don't have the answers as to when. But I do know that it will not.
And I'm sorry, I was on my phone. I see like a little red. Apologize. Imagine that this world that we're living in right now struggled so organization built from.
I struggled with suicidal depression and anxiety, and it stemmed from getting bullied at school and online on social media. And I really just didn't know their teachers. I was so ashamed and felt so embarrassed. A lot of that was because 10 years ago, the stigmas surrounding mental health and mental illness were very severe. Of whether you're in the Olympics or not, struggle. He was doing podcasts on it. Nobody was run through that experience all around the world. And I was able to overcome it by going to therapy, going to counseling, doing different programs. And so now I want to be able to provide that to other teenagers and young people struggling, because it's so important that we learn coping techniques to get through some of the.
But have these podcasts like I'm doing, hearing that there are people out there who are celebrities, who are icons that we see every day struggle through depression and anxiety and learn to bounce back and say, you know what, I need help right now. Some people think this is TMI or whatever. Really helps. And I mean, I've struggled through depression, anxiety, and now self-harm. Um, I'm seeing a counselor, and just knowing that this whole COVID bone, I mean, doesn't it chill you to the bone? Like, when is it ever going to self-vaccinated? Like, how does
so many.org provides a list of these. So it is important as we have to be able to build that. Everybody's going to be happy and everything's going to be perfect. And the reality is that life is always going to throw us curveballs. whether it's getting laid off from a job or losing someone that we love or getting bullied online, kind of giving up, we have the opportunity.
Yeah, I've I really struggled, and that's kind of why I started my YouTube channel a decade ago. To have me be open and have me be honest about YouTube channel, and now I'm doing this, turning it off. Well, I that it's for money and depressed and so much anxiety. What I mean, family members and friends.
Yes, so I've been somewhat early on in the pandemic. The stuff that I've been doing is virtual over the last year, which some people, the country and alone has been, well, and knowing when I need to take time for myself, what is going on.
I have been seeking help like I should, and thankfully you have an organization that you built on for just being free to just talk. Have you feel like you've been understood on anything?
Well, I have to say that I really keep myself, I stick to kind of like a wellness approach when it comes to social media and the media, because I think, we've seen over the last year that it's not always helpful. Sometimes, it is. And it's good to watch movies and shows to kind of escape what you're dealing with, but eventually it comes back. So for myself, social media is something that I force myself to not spend too much time on, because I think that if you are on it too much, it can have some negative impacts. But I do use my organization social medias to connect with people, to post inspiring stories, to post advice and resources. So that's been helpful. But I think that it's really important to exercise your brain for mental wellness. So whether it's trying to work out in the backyard or even in the house, going on walks. I have a 9-month-old puppy that I actually got in the middle of the pandemic, so I've been really busy taking care of him. And he's been really great for my mental health because I'm focused on taking care of him. I find that if you sit and watch TV or videos for hours and hours and hours during the day, you don't feel very accomplished, and you don't, you know, feel like you're working towards something. So I'm just really specific on what I watch. I don't like to watch anything that has, a negative impact on my mental health. So that's kind of where I'm at. I like to watch comedies. I like to watch musicals. I really watch all sorts of things, but anything that's going to be harmful to my mental health, I stay away from.
Yeah, me too. I don't watch. What is it? There's been things that I didn't want, that I don't watch, that people do watch. I don't play Grand Theft Auto
Mm-hmm.
like everyone else, or Call of Duty, because that has helped. That has negatively, hugely negatively impacted my mental health. It stone cold me to suicide, and suicidal thoughts and negativity. So I stand myself away from getting Grand Theft Auto like everyone else, getting Call of Duty. So mainly, I think what's very helpful in a video game perspective is to play playful, um, maybe something like Marvel, Avengers video game, Spider-Man, uh, stuff like that has helped me so much. Um, yourself to play video games impact your mental health. Please do not. I would not recommend playing Grand Theft Auto to anybody. I don't know why people play that. I think it's caused a lot of negativity in life, And
To be honest, I don't around negative video games, and if you are it's impacting you in a negative way, you don't have to play it, or you movies, TV shows, whatever it is. Just take a second and kind of figure out what it is about that you are.
yeah, I mean, um, not just from my perspective, are of playing video games, of teenagers. They did this in real life and it was on the news. I know some people think it's fake news. It's not. Call of Duty could be to people who have suicidal thoughts like me and negative and self-harm thoughts or just negative period. Me and Emma who there is a lot of negativity. I think that people do. Um, or people get triggered from. That's better. Um, so speaking from personal experience, so what have you been reading?
Well, to be honest, I haven't had enough time to read, so I should be reading more. But I'm typically inspired and encouraged by anything that survivors put out regarding mental illness or their own stories. So anything that, whether it's a blog post or in the news, I will typically read because it's super powerful to read people's stories. So I wish I had more
Very
time.
helpful.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to read. I know that there's a lot of really great books out there, but unfortunately, I haven't had enough time to do it. But yeah, I do enjoy reading anybody's personal story on things.
Yeah, my personal story is I was a boy born with 24 surgeries. Um, I was born with, and some of them were extremely experimental. Um, that I was close to death 5 times. And I went through, I was from Akron. I went back and forth to Cleveland Clinic and Akron Children's Hospital. So much so that I was in the newspaper in 1995. Um, Man, I wish I could share you the. Maybe I'll send it to you. There's like a newspaper of me from Akron Beacon Journal. Um, yeah, so please, please get help. If even if you don't think you need it, you're gonna need it down the road, buddy. Trust me.
Yeah, I second that. Yep. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. And as you said, if you are struggling and you feel like you need to speak with somebody, there is help available. There are people there out there that want to help. Please head to lifeisworthit.org for more resources and information. But there is the suicide prevention hotline. That's 1-800-273-8255 that you can call. You can also text the helpline, regardless if you're having suicidal thoughts or not, and for us to open the conversations more towards mental health and mental wellness.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on my channel. I hope I'm seeing a lot of red stuff right here, so I'm hoping that it's not impacting the audio. Hopefully. um, but if this does happen again, but anyway, if you really do ever want to come back on my channel again, or just want to talk to me, please be open, Emma White. Um, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for your time,
Thank
for
you.
coming on my channel and podcast. You really are. I have to say, you really look gorgeous. By the way, I can't help it. Whenever I see
Oh, thank you.
someone beautiful, I can't help it. But thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.